Hey guys, Marsing in here bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video. So earlier today, or last night I guess, depending on where you are in the world, we got the Dokkan Fest teaser for the new TURLES, and it is actually very possible that we will see his details get tweeted out on, well, on Twitter obviously, sometime within, I think by the time this video goes up, it's going to be what, 14 hours, 13 hours, something like that. We might see his details actually get tweeted out, maybe with the animations as well, because I believe the banner is supposed to come out on the 30th or the 31st, so pretty hype. Since this information may drop tomorrow, I thought it'd be interesting to speculate today in this video what his leader skill could be, because I have seen a lot of people talking about it on the timeline. Obviously, I posted my video earlier today where I just went over my initial thoughts. I listed some of the potential categories that he could lead, but I wanted to go into a bit more detail in this video. So first things first, smash that like button. Let me know down below in the comments section, what would you like to see TURLES' leader skill be? Would you like him to be the new ultimate god villain leader? Would you like him to have a team that kind of mixes super and extreme? Let me know all of your thoughts down below in the comment section. So I've pulled up AGL TURLES here so we can see the categories that he's on, because the other TURLES, the new TURLES, unless he's going to be a Great Ape TURLES, which, I mean, it could happen, right? Even though the teaser didn't really give any indication of that fact, but he could be a Dokkan Fest Great Ape TURLES for all we know. I mean, we got an LR Great Ape Vegeta as part of the anniversary last year, so remember that is a possibility, and that would put him on Giant Form and Great Ape Power as well. But these are the categories that we're going to look at for the potential, right? So TURLES is on Low Class Warriors, Movie Bosses, Pure Saiyans, Terrifying Conquerors, Final Trump Card, Space Traveling Warriors, and Planetary Destruction. So I did talk about a few of these in the video that I made earlier. I've kind of put them in order of some of the ones that seem the most obvious, and then, but actually some of them aren't actually in order at all, but the first few are the ones that seem the most obvious, and I've tried to put some ones that seem less likely towards the end, but that could actually be pretty good. So first things first, we have Terrifying Conquerors. Now Terrifying Conquerors is one of the bigger extreme unit categories. The only thing I would say about this is we just had the release of Piccolo Jr., who is a Terrifying Conquerors lead, as one of his 3 categories for his 170. Now, the only thing is, though, with him having Terrifying Conquerors as part of his leader skill, it's a good way to get other extreme units onto his team with him, but his plus 30% for the full 200% lead is World Tournament, which there are barely any, like, extreme units in the first place, and then Battle of Fate, which obviously there are some, but they're only the units that are like the main bosses of sagas of the anime, so there's no movie bosses or anything like that unless those characters are on actually no, they're not going to be on World Tournament, are they? They're only going to be on his 170. So although Piccolo Jr. has Terrifying Conquerors as one of his 170s, his Terrifying Conquerors team build is obviously not going to be the best, because not many of those units get the full 200%. Cooler obviously has a really good one because Transformation Boost is his extra 30%, but units that don't have a transformation or anything like that obviously miss out on his full 200% leader skill as well. And then Ginyu, his leader skill, his is pretty good still. Obviously him himself, you kind of have to build the team a little bit around him with the other Ginyu Force units for him to be really good, or to at least to be optimized. So another Terrifying Conquerors leader wouldn't be the worst thing. I know a lot of people don't want to see the same categories as parts of leader skills all the time, but he definitely could be quite good, right? Now, next up we have Planetary Destruction. This is one of the main ones I talked about in the video that I put out earlier today. This team hasn't had a leader for like how long now? This Broly is, what, 3 Saiyan days old, because the most recent one was God Goku, the one before that was Majin Vegeta, and then it was Broly. So this guy is Saiyan Day 2021. And he introduced the Planetary Destruction category, yeah. And then LR Golden Frieza has it as a leader, but he's a yellow coin LR, so his leader skill is obviously lower. So Planetary Destruction getting another lead would be pretty cool. The category isn't huge, but it does have a lot of these units on here that don't fit into a bunch of other categories together, right? Like Broly, Frieza, and Cell. We've got like the Namek Vegeta on here. There's a couple of super type units on here. Like this AGL Gohan was always like a good support unit for Broly's team, because he supports all allies and not just like super type. Funnily enough, this guy's on here as well, just got his Easy A and is a really good free-to-play unit. Although, obviously not going to be particularly good for support on this team. But Planetary Destruction definitely needs and deserves a new leader. At some point, we're going to get another celebration for Broly, second movie, because we need this guy's Easy A and the Go Bros. So another good team for him to be on would be pretty cool. And depending on the 200% part of the leader skill, Broly getting another 200% lead would be really good, especially with the fact that TURLES units are often support, so he'll be supporting this guy, because this guy's only 200% leader skill is God Goku, who you can only run one extreme unit on his team if you want to get God Goku's intro animation and his full passive. So then Broly's kind of stuck. He does share quite a few links with some of the units on that team, which is one of the only benefits of him being an extreme unit that doesn't have big bad bosses for some bizarre reason. But yeah, Planetary Destruction is probably one of my top picks for one of his 170s, right? So then we have Space Traveling Warriors. We still only have Bojack as one of the characters that has 170 for Space Traveling Warriors. So I could see this being one of his leader skills potentially, because Bojack is a bit outdated now. I say a bit, like until he gets his Easy A, he's not really meta relevant. But Space Traveling Warriors not only incorporates a lot of these units like Frieza, Bojack, obviously all the Turles units, Coolers on there, but then we also have, like, it's so funny to me that Jiren is on there, but like all the Bardock and Bardock squad units, B-Pan is on there, Jacko is on there, GT Pan, like a lot of the GT characters are on Space Traveling Warriors because it's kind of the whole point of the first arc of GT. Even Hearts is on there. So Space Traveling Warriors is a category that definitely needs another 170 lead. I actually didn't realize until I opened this page that Bojack is the only character that has the 170. I think we have at least 2 units now, I want to say, that have Space Traveling Warriors as the extra 30%, but we still only have Bojack as the 170 for Space Traveling Warriors. So that's actually kind of crazy now that I think about it. So another one that we could see that would be kind of disappointing is Low Class Warriors. But again, much like Space Traveling Warriors, Low Class Warriors only has one 170 lead, and it's AGL Bardock, who has massively aged out of the meta, right? And then we have a bunch of these other sub-leaders. So Low Class Warrior obviously includes Bardock, all of the Bardock squad, a few Gokus, including 23rd World Tournament Goku. So obviously that is a powerful unit on the team. All the other Turleses. The only problem is Low Class Warriors should actually be called Low Class Saiyans. Because if you think about it, like if Turles is on it, why are his minions not on it? Surely they are even lower class warriors than him. So the only characters on the category are Saiyans. So the category should actually be called Low Class Saiyans, really. Because it kind of sucks the LR's not on there. But yeah, Low Class Warriors, whilst there are no other 170 leads, I don't think many people would be happy with this being one of his 170s. Maybe if it was, and the celebration was themed a bit more around the Low Class Warriors, we could see something like all of the Bardock Great Ape units getting their Easy A's, which would then obviously be pretty powerful units to put on his team. Like Great Ape Turles could get an Easy A. Imagine if they did an Extreme Z battle that was like all 5 of the Great Ape Team Bardock units, and then like, because this guy would be a sub Easy A, the Giant Ape Turles, so he would be a sub Easy A for AGL Turles because he awakens with his medals, I'm pretty sure. So the actual Extreme Z battle could be to Easy A all 5 of the Team Bardock Great Apes, and then this guy gets a sub Easy A, and then all of a sudden you have a bunch of solid options for that team. Hey, maybe they could finally, because they didn't do it with the last Bardock celebration, maybe they could finally give us the last copy and the Easy A for this guy, although he only supports Team Bardock, so that probably doesn't really gel with a Turles celebration, but it would be nice to finally get that, wouldn't it? So next up we have Movie Bosses. Now, Movie Bosses has a lot of options. Obviously, the original TURLES Dokkan Fest was the first Movie Bosses leader, so I feel like that makes it a little bit less likely that the new one will be as well. Not that they haven't repeated these kind of themes in the past, but I don't know, that would be a little bit... Would it be disappointing? I don't know. Movie Bosses could have another leader. I guess it wouldn't be the end of the world, but we already have Int Broly and STR Cooler. This guy got his Easy A Physical Broly, so he has the full 170. So, I mean, Movie Bosses I don't think needs another leader. It could end up being part of his 30% for sure, depending on what the other categories are, because obviously it's one of the larger extreme categories, but not that big when you really look at it, right? Because it's, again, it's movie bosses, not like movie villains, so we don't have any of the henchmen or the minions or anything like that, although TURLES gets away with being on there because he is on the card, right? And of course, we can't forget the true big bad boss, the movie boss Lemo, because, you know, the only reason that card has big bad bosses is because Lemo is on there, right? Because no Brolys and no Chilais have big bad bosses. But yeah, movie bosses could be an interesting pick. So then final trump card is one I talked about in the earlier video. So the Anniversary LR was the newest unit that got a final trump card lead, right? So it's a fairly recent addition, although obviously for JP, that was in February. So it's like 3 months ago already since the last final trump card lead. And then these guys got Easy A's as part of the Anniversary, the 5-year LRs, but obviously we don't really count them as like new final trump card leaders. So final trump card, I could see that being part of his leader skill, whether it is one of the 170s. Because remember, we've seen units now that have like 3 170s and then 2 plus 30s. And TURLES could definitely benefit from that. Like the roster of units that could be on his team could be huge. And the fact that he's a Saiyan, by having some crossover with some of these super type units, he's going to have links with them, like prepared for battle. He's going to be supporting them. Obviously on a more super class based team, he's not going to be getting links like Thirst for Conquest, Big Bad Bosses, stuff like that. But you know, if his side banner unit is good enough to make his team, even if you are running some of these other units, like Final Trump card has characters on it like the Boo Bros from the Anniversary, the Kai Goku, Spirit Bomber's Goku got his Easy A during the Anniversary, the LR Gods are on here, like the GT LR is on here as well, both the 8th Annie LRs are on here. So like some of the units on this team are still really good, right? Even the 7th Anniversary LRs, you can still argue that they are still usable in a lot of the difficult content. So Final Trump card would definitely be a really good one. And then this one, I feel like it's the least likely, but this would be wild. I feel like people would be so hyped to summon for him if one of his 170s was Pure Saiyans, right? Now, we only just got God Goku for Saiyan Day, and Raditz has Pure Saiyans as one of his 170 leads as well. But like, remember for God Goku, so did I bring up God Goku? Yeah, I did. Just got to close the weird ad thing. Good old wiki. So God Goku leads Pure Saiyans or Hybrid Saiyans, but then remember his extra 30% is Power of Wishes or Exploding Rage. And there are a lot of good characters that get his full 200% leader skill, but it's not like, you know, half the Pure Saiyan category is getting his full 200%. So having another leader that has Pure Saiyans, but then has different 30% buffs that will cover not only the TURLES units, maybe Raditz, maybe a bunch of the super ones as well, I feel like that would make his release a lot more popular. Because on Twitter and in the community, we cry out for villain buffs, but the numbers kind of show that the super type characters are the ones that are usually the most popular, right? Now, if TURLES drops with a leader skill that includes some of the top tier super class units in the game on his team, and you can run them all together under a 200%, like from a business standpoint, that makes it seem a lot more likely that people would summon for him. Like, obviously, I want him to be a really good villain unit, you know, the new best extreme unit in the game, potentially, and lead a really strong villain team. But if they make him lead really good super units as well, that just makes his release more popular overall, I think, right? And then Raditz has Pure Saiyans and then Space Traveling Warriors. So obviously, we already talked about, like, Space Traveling Warriors. That includes the TURLES's, the members of Team Bardock, some of the Vegetas. But those are the only units getting the full 200% from this guy, right? So Pure Saiyans has a ton of options. Like, you know, every anniversary that isn't fusions is going to bring us new Gokus, new Vegetas, worldwide download celebration. Like, you know, say we get a new Broly movie celebration based on the first Broly movie, we're going to get a new Goku. You know, all these movies, Android 13 movie, we could get a new, like, Goku, or Goku and Vegeta. It'd be kind of cool to get a Goku, Vegeta and Trunks from the Android 13 movie, but then obviously they wouldn't be on Pure Saiyans. But Pure Saiyans is always going to get buffs. Like, just always, constantly. So having another really good Pure Saiyan leader, especially one who, as these TURLES units often do, has a support passive, would be really, really good. So I wanted to give a specific shout out. Let me do the zoomed in view. I want to give a specific shout out to my boy Kensei, He's made a lot of thumbnails for me in the past, so shout out to him. This is the leader skill that he suggested for TURLES. So if I zoom in, is that actually going to be too much? Yeah, it is. So it is Pure Saiyans. Let me close this. So Pure Saiyans and Planetary Destruction as his two 170s. And then the plus 30% is Final Trump Card and Terrifying Conquerors. And you can see here, this list is all the units that would be getting the full 200% leader skill. So we've got the Kai Goku, both the 8th anniversary LRs, but then we have LR Final Form Cooler, LR Final Form Frieza, great rotation. We have both the 7-year LRs. We have Great Ape Vegeta, we have LR TURLES, who hopefully will easy A during this celebration. LR Vegito, who will get an easy A eventually. Spirit Bomb Absorb Goku, Full Power Frieza, the 3rd anniversary LRs, Super Saiyan 3 LR Goku, who will get an easy A eventually as well. Shout out to King Vegeta. I mean, he has Pure Saiyan support, I guess, right? Raditz is on there. Margin Vegeta is on there. Tech Kale and Caulifla. SSBK, Blue Kaioken with his easy A. Obviously, you know, it's not the ideal team for him with less Resurrection of F, less representatives of Universe 7 allies, but he's another strong unit. STR Cooler, who obviously will be buffing TURLES, especially if he eats the fruit and is on Transformation Boost. Namek Goku's on there. Just by looking at this, right, like there's a couple of really good units. I mean, if you just look at Kai Goku, the 2 anniversary LRs, Cooler, like 4 units in that top row are still considered like top 10 LRs. Well, maybe Cooler isn't on JP anymore, but like even the 7-year LRs have arguments for still being really good. TURLES again could get an easy A. Like this leader skill would actually be really, really good, I think. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Like I said at the start, if you could pick the leader skill for this new TURLES, what would it be? Are you excited to summon for him on the JP side? I'm going to try and get the private server set up so I can do some showcases, because my attempts at maintaining a second account, like a JP account, have not been going so well. Like spending money on 2 versions of the game is tough, and even when I have pulled the new units that have come out, I don't have other units to make good teams for them. So I don't know if I will be doing videos on TURLES gameplay wise, but hopefully we will. So yeah, I'm very much excited to see what he does, see his animations. Let me know all your thoughts down below in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.